Okay, welcome to this explainer. Let's dive right in and tackle a massive challenge for anyone dealing with extreme seasonal weather, which is how do you keep your indoor air fresh without your utility bills going completely through the roof? Well, to kick things off, here's a pretty wild fact from the EPA. The air inside your home can actually be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outside. No way, right? But if you live in a place like Illinois where the climate swings from absolutely freezing winters to blazing humid summers, you know exactly how tough managing this can be. We spend a ton of time indoors, and how we manage that air is directly tied to our daily comfort, our health, and for sure our wallets.
So, here we are at the classic homeowner catch-22. For a huge chunk of the year, keeping your windows wide open just isn't an option. You're basically faced with a choice. Do you crack a window and huddle under a blanket while watching your expensive heated or cooled air literally fly out into the neighborhood? Or do you keep everything shut tight as a drum and trap yourself in that heavy, stuffy, stale air? It's an incredibly frustrating balancing act between bringing in enough outdoor air to actually stay healthy and keeping your heating and cooling costs under control.
Section 1, the fresh air dilemma. To really understand why this is such an issue, we need to look at how modern homes actually behave. During those long heating seasons, we seal our houses up incredibly tight to stop drafts and save energy, right? And while that's fantastic for keeping the cold out, we accidentally trap everything else inside with us. It's the unintended consequence of energy efficiency. Without a proper exchange of air, you end up dealing with lingering cooking smells, excess humidity, and even higher concentrations of indoor contaminants, off-gassing from everyday cleaning products and your building materials. The very thing keeping you warm is, ironically, degrading your air quality. Now, a lot of homes try to solve this by relying on passive leakage, which honestly is just a fancy way of saying you have drafty doors and windows. Or they might rely on a standard mechanical exhaust fan, like the one in your bathroom. But here's the thing. These methods are incredibly inconsistent. Relying on a drafty window, that completely fails you when outdoor pressure patterns and the winds shift. And a standard bathroom fan, it just can't pull enough fresh air when the temperature absolutely plummets outside. They simply aren't designed to handle the whole home ventilation needs of a tightly sealed modern house.
Moving on to Section 2, what is an ERV?
So we need a better way to breathe indoors without sacrificing our energy bills. And that brings us to the technological hero of our explainer, the Energy Recovery Ventilator, or ERV. Think of an ERV as a smart breathing system for your house. Simply put, it moves the stale, polluted indoor air out and draws fresh outdoor air in. But here is the genius part. As these two air streams pass each other inside the unit, they don't actually mix. Instead, they transfer heat and moisture. It gives you the fresh air of an open window, but it captures the energy of the conditioned air you're throwing away, using it to prep the new air coming in. It's a real game changer. This brilliant little piece of tech operates on a simple 3-step process that completely changes how your house breathes. Step 1, the system exhausts your outgoing stale air. Step 2, right in the specialized core of the unit, that outgoing air transfers its thermal energy and moisture to the incoming fresh air. And finally, step 3, the system pushes that newly conditioned, fresh outdoor air right into your living spaces. Because it's transferring heat, it works as an amazing seasonal stabilizer. In the dead of winter, the warm, stale air leaving your house actually pre-warms the freezing cold, fresh air coming in. And in the summer, the cooler, air-conditioned air leaving your house helps pre-cool the hot, fresh air coming in from outside. It drastically reduces the cost of conditioning your air. You're not paying to heat up freezing air from scratch, no matter what the thermometer says out there. But here is where an ERV truly outshines a simple exhaust fan. It is moisture-aware. Because it manages humidity transfer in addition to temperature, it's an absolute lifesaver in a climate that gets both those muggy, sticky summers and bone-dry winters. I mean, think about waking up with cracked skin in January, or tossing and turning in a humid, uncomfortable house in August. By transferring moisture alongside the heat, it keeps your indoor humidity levels so much more stable, which is a massive boost to your daily comfort. Section 3, benefits of upgrading. Okay, so we've covered the mechanics, but what does this all mean for you in the real world? Well, it means waking up without a thick layer of condensation dripping down your bedroom windows. It means the smell of Tuesday night's fish fry doesn't linger in your kitchen all the way into Thursday. You're getting far more consistent outdoor air delivery, which actively dilutes indoor pollutants, and you drastically lower the energy penalty of ventilating your home. And honestly, perhaps most importantly, if you live in a newly built or recently insulated tighter home, this intentional ventilation is exactly what your house needs to function properly. All right, Section 4, Installation and Next Steps.
So, if you're tired of stuffy air, lingering kitchen smells, and condensation on your windows, and you're thinking, okay, I'm ready to upgrade, listen closely. This is definitely not a DIY weekend project. Actually, let's just be clear, not every ERV installation is equal. To get this right, you need a qualified HVAC expert to step in. They have to evaluate your specific home layout, look at your existing ventilation, and really understand your comfort goals. Proper sizing, precise duct design, and careful airflow balancing are absolutely crucial to make sure this fresh air reaches the right areas without accidentally creating drafts or overventilating your home. It has to perfectly match your whole setup.
The good news, though, once it's properly installed, the ongoing maintenance is refreshingly straightforward. You're mostly just looking at periodically swapping out the filters, just like you already do with your standard furnace. Depending on your local conditions and the specific manufacturer, you might occasionally need to clean the exchange core surfaces. And lastly, you just tune the smart controls. A lot of these systems can be adjusted based on who's actually home or what the weather's doing outside, aligning perfectly with your family's routine.
Our sources for this explainer really hit the nail on the head regarding where home technology is heading. Take a second to consider this quote. ERVs are increasingly viewed not as a luxury, but as a practical way to bring fresh air indoors year-round while limiting energy waste. As we build tighter homes to save on energy, and as our expectations for indoor comfort just keep rising, ERVs have transformed into an absolute necessity for healthy living. They let you breathe fresh air all year long without burning through your utility budget.
It's a pretty powerful question to ask yourself, especially if you look around your own living room right now. Are you actively managing the air you and your family are breathing? Or are you just recycling the exact same stale air from months ago? Understanding how your home breathes is the very first step to a healthier, much more comfortable life indoors. I really want to leave you with that thought to consider as you go about your day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.